You don't have to be let in here.
Can you? I don't have Princess's info. Do you mind just forwarding that to her, Diane?
I'm gonna forwarding. Yes, I will.
Yeah. And then she can jump on.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, perfect. I am gonna pull everybody down then, and then she's gone. At 5:34, we'll go live.
Yeah.
And then if you guys need anything, talk to me in private chat, and I shall respond.
Okay.
Right. Good luck, everyone. Everyone seems like it's going to be so fun. I can't wait.
Break a leg.
All right. I'll see you guys in a little.
All
right. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks.
Good evening, everyone, and good morning to those of you joining us from the Philippines. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jonesy Castro, and I've had the honor of serving as PhilDev USA's Executive Director for the last 7 years. Let me start by saying that on behalf of PhilDev's board and our team, our hearts go out to all of you whose lives have been affected by this global pandemic. We know that the last year has been extremely challenging, but we hope that 2021 brings you renewed energy, positivity, and continued resilience. I also want to thank all of you for tuning in from around the world as we celebrate PhilDev's 10-year anniversary. Of course, the highlight of tonight is the panel with members from the cast of Yellow Rose. It's also our first time to hold an event like this, so I hope you enjoy what we've got planned. Now, to kick things off, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our MC for the evening, Franco Finn. Most of you might know him as the hype man for the Golden State Warriors. Hi, Franco.
Hey, Jonesy. Thank you so much for kicking us off here tonight, and thank you for the nice introduction. Welcome, everybody. I am so excited. Happy Friday, first and foremost, to all of you. As Jonesy said, my name is Franco Finn. Many of you may know me for the last 20 seasons as the hype man and in-arena MC, and proud Pinoy, too. I got to say, I am the first and only Filipino-American MC and hype man for the NBA, and so proud to represent us out there for your Golden State Warriors. It's been amazing, 20-year run, and, I'm based here in the Bay Area, but I know we have a lot of folks from around the world. So hello, my kababayans out there. Good to see everybody virtually, whether here in the States or out in the Philippines or anywhere around the world. So thank you so much. Salamat for joining us here tonight. And so we are super excited to bring to you an amazing panel. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but all our PhilDev friends and supporters here tonight, I know we're here for a great cause and for a great organization. But before we kick off the night and introduce, of course, the great panel that we have coming up in a little bit, here's some tips of the evening, okay? This is a really cool platform, by the way. We have definitely shown our resiliency. We are going virtual 100%. We don't need any in-person events at the moment. We can still connect and still support PhilDev here tonight. And so I'll be walking you through some of the things here on the platform, and it's going to be amazing. It'll be a lot of fun, and I'll tell you all about it. But the donate button you'll see, this is where we could really make an impact tonight, and we've got some really cool incentives that I'll tell you a little bit more about later tonight. But first off, I realize there may be some folks who may not know what PhilDev is all about. But first off, congratulations on 10 awesome years. And so tonight we're going virtual, but we're still going to connect in many ways and really have a good time. So let's start off with a short video right now to tell you a little bit more about the great work that PhilDev is doing. Take a look.
In 2019, there were still 17.6 million Filipinos that lived below the poverty line. They receive a monthly income of 10,727 pesos for a family of 5. That's just 71 pesos per day per person. This means that our journey of eradicating poverty is a continuous commitment, because in spite of the progress, we still lack pathways for the underprivileged, and every Filipino should have the means to succeed. Since 2013, we have created pathways for more than 200 STEM scholars from all over the Philippines. We founded technopreneurship to give science and engineering students an option to explore the entrepreneurial career paths. Over 539 universities are now offering this course all over the country. To support technopreneurship, we have also built 10 highly functional tech hubs to pave the way for a new breed of engineers who would like to produce and commercialize their innovations. Tech hubs not only enable innovation, but foster collaboration with 74 more cohort universities, industries, and communities. As centers of ideas and entrepreneurial endeavors, budding startups spawn new jobs that help drive economic inclusive growth. Experts from all over the globe were able to help us provide the best support to our university-based startups. Now, what's next? In this ever-changing world, we have to make sure that our future generations have equal access to opportunities and remove obstacles to paths forward. There is a call for bigger and better solutions in education, innovation, and entrepreneurship that are not only scalable, but also sustainable. We will create opportunities where companies, capital, people, and ideas can converge wherever they may be. We will do this by going global and going digital. We envision a world where Filipinos are recognized and represented for their leadership, advancement, and success. This is how we will unlock the global combined power of Filipinos. Donate and become our partner to help us establish long-term, meaningful impact. Let's invest for a better future and continue to build endless pathways for more Filipinos.
Wow, amazing there. So for those of you who don't know what PhilDev has been doing and the great work over the last 10 years, hopefully that broke it down for you so you can really see the impact and what PhilDev is really trying to do. And I'm so happy as a proud Pinoy here to also, do what we can to help those and others and really expand on what PhilDev is doing here and the mission. And so this is amazing. Congratulations on 10 awesome years. And of course, there's so much to celebrate indeed. And of course, I have some really amazing folks that I want to introduce right now, and they don't need much of an introduction, so many of you may know them. But next up to share a few words are PhilDev's U.S. Chairman, Dado Banatao, and his incredible wife and PhilDev trustee, Maria Banatao. Take it away, guys.
This year marked 10 years since the founding of the Philippine Development Foundation, and we are extremely proud of what we have accomplished. PhilDev was founded with the vision of eradicating poverty through education, technology, and entrepreneurship, creating startups that grow and succeed, bringing investment and wealth to our people. What we discovered is that there is a lot of foundational work to be done before we can expect startups to simply flourish. We realized early on at PhilDev that to build an ecosystem of successful enterprises, we had to start at the beginning. First, we had to amass a large enough pool of qualified graduates, educated in technology and entrepreneurship. Part of this training included a shift in mindset of not only scholars, but professors and private industry as well, to create a culture of creativity and innovation. Only with the proper problem-solving skills and entrepreneurial mindset can we build companies that are impactful, scalable, and sustainable. Since 2010, PhilDev has implemented many programs under our strategic pillars of education, innovation, and entrepreneurship. We've worked closely with private industry and universities to encourage collaboration and accelerate the growth of ideas and innovation. We have partnered with the Philippine government, such as the Department of Science and Technology, Department of Trade and Industry, and Commission of Higher Education, international organizations like USAID, USAID, and UNDP, and big companies like Google, Shell, and Intel to ensure large-scale impact. We look forward to the next 10 years and continue to see more Filipinos thrive and flourish, and to see more successful entrepreneurs hire 1 million more, to see universities come up with top-notch research and develop innovative solutions to our most pressing societal problems, to find ways to help those in most need. Together, we can accomplish more. With the Bayanihan spirit, we can do this.
Our mission and vision at PhilDev is big. We are committed to building a better future for our people, our kababayans, for all Filipinos. We thank you for your support over the years, and especially tonight.
Thank you so much, Maria and Dado. Thank you so much for those words. And so now you know exactly kind of what PhilDev is all about. And so we are going to, of course, celebrate the 10 amazing years here tonight, but also fundraise too if we can. I know we really have some amazing stars that we're going to be interviewing here in just a few seconds. I promise you that. It's going to be very exciting. But hey, I'm just a little quick reminder. You're going to see in your donate button down below the way this platform works. It's an amazing platform. It's super easy. You don't need bid paddles or anything like that. It's just a simple button. If you can give throughout the night, we have a thermometer that you see above. We would love to raise as much as we can. We already have $15,000, and I'll tell you a little bit more about some cool incentives that we are going to be talking about here in a bit. But if you can donate throughout the program, please do so, and let's help PhilDev's mission for another 10 more amazing years. So thanks again to Dado and Maria for those words, and for Jonesy for kicking us off. Now, the portion that you've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. Now, hopefully everyone has had a chance to watch this film called Yellow Rose. If you haven't, we're going to learn a lot about Yellow Rose here tonight from our special guests and our panel coming together to talk about this film here. And so thank you to PhilDev for bringing these guests along. It's going to be amazing. Let's learn about this amazing film called Yellow Rose. I hope at the end of this, you can tell all your family and friends to watch this. So let me introduce our panelists tonight. First, we have the writer and director of this wonderful film, Yellow Rose. Let's hear from Diane Paragas. Thank you so much. Hey, Diane. Okay, now let's go here. We have more folks coming our way. We've got lead actress and Broadway star, Miss Eva Noblezada, all the way from New York City. Hey, Eva, looking great. And, of course, we have no need for any introduction here because I think you'll recognize her. Definitely heard her before. She is actress and Tony Award winner, Miss Lea Salonga, in the house tonight. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much. And then we got another surprise guest, too. She began her career starring in Lovingly Yours, the movie. We've got all sorts of great movies she's been a part of, nominated a PMPC Star Awards for television as well. We've got Princess Punzalan. Thank you, Princess, for joining us here tonight.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, everybody. Wow, this is awesome. We're gathering together virtually, but we're going to have such a great time talking about this film, Yellow Rose. And I cannot wait to dive right into it. But I'm going to start off with Diane. Diane, first off, let's just share, for those who have not seen this film yet, I've seen, I know there's been previews shared on social media, this and that, but this is such a great film for our community and really inspirational. But tell us What was the true inspiration behind this, and intertwining music and, you know, with the main lead and everything, and just really talking about this short story and sharing this with the world? It took 15 years, first off, right?
Mm-hmm. It took a long time.
Long time, but what was the inspiration and the passion behind this film, Diane, first and foremost? Tee us up.
Sure. I mean, definitely, as a kid growing up, I didn't really see images of myself in movies. And I spent my entire career trying to make a movie that would put somebody that looked like me on the big screen. And so, in the very beginning, when I wrote this story, it was based on my upbringing growing up in Texas. I was grew up most of my life in Texas. So I wrote this story of a girl who loved country music, but it didn't love her back. Now, it was sort of loosely based on my upbringing, although I didn't listen to country music. Music was my outlet. And so the story is about a 17-year-old girl, a Filipino girl growing up in Texas, played by the great Eva Noblezada. And she's dreams of being a country singer. And until one day her mother, played by Princess Punzalan, our dear Princess Punzalan, gets picked up by ICE, and she has to go on a journey of self-discovery and try to find her voice and a home. So it's sort of my version of the American dream. It's a Western, it's a musical, it's a coming-of-age story, it's a Star is Born type of story. But at the core of it, it's the story of an American and the story of a Filipino, and how those two things and those two worlds come together.
Okay, this is fabulous. Thanks for summarizing. For those who haven't seen it, you're going to definitely want to see it after this panel here today. But let's go. I mean, to my right, we have Eva Noblezada here, who plays this protagonist in the film. So, Eva, talk about your role here in this film, and how did you get looped in? And goodness, what did this film mean to you? And what was that process like filming this? Oh, maybe you're on mute.
No, she's not.
Oh, all good. It's virtual. Things happen. You know what I mean?
I don't know what
bandwidth things. No worries. We can't. We'll move on. We'll go. We'll log you back in. Let's have. Well, we have Lea Salonga here with us, and Princess.
Hey, Franco.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Eva, we good?
Talk, Eva. Nope.
Not yet. Not yet. No worries. Hey, this is virtual, right? Hey, everything, and you got to be ready for whatever it takes here during COVID.
Yeah. Try signing out and signing back in. Maybe that'll do it.
No worries.
She'll be back. She'll be back.
Well, we have Princess and Lea here. Princess, you played the mother, correct? And Lea, you played the auntie, the tita. Yeah. Let's talk about Princess first, your role as the mother. What is this mother like for those who haven't seen the movie? And, when we get Eva back on, talk about, just kind of the struggles here and the storyline and how you as a mother play a role in Eva, her character in this movie.
Well, Priscilla, that's the character I play. She's a typical protective mother. And since she knows that she's undocumented, she's very, very protective of her daughter. Aside from the fact that normally Filipino mothers are really protective of their daughters. Right?
To start, yeah.
So yeah,
yes.
So that's basically my role, a very protective mother, and I have to roll with the punches as soon as I get arrested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is so okay. Well, now we have Eva back. Eva, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Awesome.
My mic said it was fine, so it must be the internet or something.
Internet.
But my
Those interwebs.
character,
Yes.
Internet problems. My character Rose is and it's interesting because Diane and Princess, when we had our interview the other night, somebody said, "Why is she so weak?" And that's kind of made me think of like different qualities of her. Meaning, she is a very strong person because the story is kind of magnified on her. But when you take the magnifying glass away, it almost seems like she is weak in comparison to the immigration system that was put into place by our former administration. Mm. So she is a girl who, was put into place that didn't really accept her living there and calling it home. and she loves country music. She dreams of being a musician. She dreams as well, in my opinion, of finding who she really is as a Filipina living in Texas. And she's very strong-willed. She loves her mother fiercely, and it is a true representation of, like Diane was saying, an American story. And this film means a lot to me. It's such an honor to be a Filipina and play a Filipina. That was a first for me. So I'm just incredibly lucky to have been a part of this project that feels so authentic while we were making it, while we were working on it, and even now watching it and looking at the feedback of everybody who's been such incredible supporters of the movie. It's just always had a baseline of a foundation of authenticity and organicness, which is really special for a film like this.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the music here. I mean, Lea, I'm going to loop you in here. You played a tita in this film, and the auntie here.
Diane, why the face?
I mean, you can relate to, I mean, everyone knows, obviously, your beautiful voice. You've been in the music biz for a while, and you're such a, icon to us and our Filipino culture and everything like that. So I'm sure you could probably relate to this young Rose and music and growing up, and especially when you started at such a young age. But, we can flip on that a little bit later and talk about that. But your role, talk about your role in this movie in particular, and then maybe share kind of why you wanted to become a part of this project in the beginning. So Lea, tell those who don't know your role in the film. You play the tita Rose.
Yeah, I play the tita. You know how, I guess in a lot of families, but particularly a lot of Filipino families, a lot of Philam families, where we have the relative that nobody really likes. The relative.
Yes.
Yeah, the relative. So that would be me. And it's funny, and like however many years later, I got looped into some discussions with a few of my other relatives who were living in the U.S., and I was reminded yet again of why I don't like that relative. So it's just very funny that there's just a constant reminder. But yeah, so that was kind of an initial jumping off point for that character. But I also have to look at it from the other side, that she became who she is for her own reasons for survival, for her own reasons of protecting herself and the little family that she's also been able to grow and find and develop. So she's trying not to be in trouble. She's trying to assimilate, and I think she's been quite successful. And yeah, so she's kind of also torn between a rock and a hard place, between wanting to do the right thing for her niece, but at the same time, she's married to this man who doesn't really want to, I guess, harbor a fugitive, for lack of a better way of putting it. So he doesn't want to get in trouble with the law. So she's kind of stuck. And Rose, being very headstrong and, wanting to carve out, a life for herself, decides to find a family that will be much more accepting to her than those related to her by blood. And that's life. And there are a lot of young people for whom this kind of stuff happens under different circumstances. But yeah, I got looped in. I got sent a script and met with Diane. I think it was across the street from where Once on This Island was playing. And we talked about it. And my manager was adamant about me being a part of the film. And he said, this is something you should do because it's the right thing to do. One, the role is great and it doesn't take up a whole lot of your time. But two, given our climate, given what's going on in the country, it's the right thing to do. So you should be a part of it. So as if I needed a lot of convincing, but it didn't. Yeah. And it really didn't take up a lot of my time. It was literally 3 days.
3 days.
For me, 3 days. A meeting day and then 2 shooting days. And then I was off to, I don't even remember where I was off to. Probably California or back to Manila. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I do remember being at the shoot and climbing the stairs, carrying Diane's daughter, who played my daughter, carrying her up and down the stairs a lot. And I think she became dead weight at one point because I think she fell asleep.
Oh my God.
While I was carrying her.
Yeah.
And she's much bigger now. And I know she's there, Diane.
She's like, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
yeah. So I got a lot of exercise that day.
It's great, and what a film to be a part of. And let's talk real quick about it. I'm going to talk about kind of the underlying messages and themes of this movie, Yellow Rose, which I hope everyone can go out and see. And also, if you want to donate throughout the night, please do so. The donate button right here on the PayMe platform is super easy. We want to get to 25,000 for PhilDev to do this really great thing here for our community. But talk about maybe your character, Lea, real quick on your reaction towards your character's husband's family. This is a question I believe from the audience.
Okay.
Talk about that. Your husband's family.
Look, you're about to. Well, I'm not going to say much more than that. I mean, we don't really see his family very much. You only see him. Because the central characters, it'll obviously be Rose. It'll be her mother. It'll be Rose. Everything really centers on Rose, and everyone else is kind of, revolving around her. So we don't even really see his face. Yeah. I mean, he was a really handsome man in person and a lovely, lovely, lovely person to work with. But we don't really see him. And so he's kind of, it's more of what he represents rather than him, himself. And what he represents to Gail and how he is connected to her. But even then, there's a shift even in how Gail interacts with him as the arc continues. And there is an argument, and a bunch of my friends that saw the film picked up on it.
Okay.
And yeah, and they hashtagged that one improvised line. In that one exchange. And yeah, so I mean, even within, we see Rose's transformation and her evolution and her growth in the film, but even the supporting characters go through their own little evolutions and transformations as well in the film. So how Gail reacts to him, I think she's starting to sort of resist him a bit more.
I see.
Yeah, so which is a good thing, for her. And I think Diane and I had a whole bunch of side comments as we were rehearsing and improvising and shooting, which made it a really fun day.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, we were.
I wanted to chime in a little bit about that. I think what the question was referencing is that, her husband plays a Caucasian American who doesn't want to help. And I actually cut a lot of scenes that we shot with him because in the editing process, I chose to kind of not have any bad guys. I wanted the bad guys to be systemic racism and the immigration, the failed immigration system. Yeah. So that it wasn't a bad guy or a bad cop or a bad human being, but a flawed system.
Yes.
So you never see those faces of racism. You don't see the faces of the ICE officers, for example. You see them kind of in shadow, and that was intentional.
Yeah, and share with us about the immigrants. The perspective, the immigrant stories, you're talking about this systemic racism and everything. Expand a little bit about that, Diane, because, this film, it's about the music as well, but really the underlying thing. What do you want people to walk away with when they see this right away? Like, how did you want to interpret this film from the get-go? Like, what did you want people to make this judgment about Yellow Rose from the beginning? Is it about this, the music? Is it about the underlying racism? It's all of it, obviously, right? But what was your first intent here with this film?
I think if you had to sum up in one word what I was going for, it would be empathy. I think the film means to show an America that is kind to one another, that shows grace to one another, that takes in, the poor huddled masses, which is part of our constitution of what this country is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
And instead of showing the ugly side of it, I show compassion and I show people who help, not all the way, but enough to help this young woman along. But I also show the cruelty that it places and the harshness that our country places on immigrants,
yeah,
and on particularly this character. And at the same time, her goal is very simple: is to be a singer, to sing her song, to sing her song, to add her voice to this the most American institution of music, country music. And why shouldn't she have a place in it?
Yeah.
So it's a metaphor of country music and of country of the United States of America.
Absolutely.
And so those were the two things that sort of clashed together in the struggle of this young woman.
That's great. No, thank you for sharing that. Eva, I want to loop you in here. I mean, what were some of the most difficult parts, filming any of these scenes, any kind of challenges? Because, you had to convey a lot of emotions throughout the entire film, and, this and that, a roller coaster, if you will. Talk about your perspective and how you had to prepare for this role and some of the underlying things, as a young Filipinx, woman in this environment that you had to, live through and experience. Talk about your perspective and how, working with the fellow actors about throughout the film as well. And how did you channel all that?
Yeah, I mean, as an actor, thankfully, I believe good acting has nothing to do with the actor. And what I'm trying to say is when I'm on screen, I'm Rose, I'm not Eva. So any of the emotion, it doesn't take a toll out of me, just my physical body. So, I mean, Lea and I did frickin' Kim for a million years. And, that's also an extremely emotional role. And people ask me the same thing. And it's just like, it's a character. You have to be a smart actor and you have to plan. You have to be meticulous of what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. And anything that Eva was feeling is completely irrelevant. I can use Eva's thought process and I can use her experience in the rehearsal process of going, how do I want to make Rose come across as? What are the characteristics of Rose that I want to highlight? How do I want to make Rose view life? How do I want to make her fight? So those are all me throwing it into a spiritually cosmic body that I then step into. So thankfully, that's how I view it. And it allows me to, to have tear ducts of gold and just to cry and be emotional, because they are difficult scenes. But at the same time, I've never experienced an ice raid, but we were working not 30 miles from one that was probably happening in parts of Texas bastrop that we were filming. So there's a harsh reality and a pressure that I imagine the whole cast was feeling, and the creative team, of saying, we are filming not only in the worst administration that will be recorded in history of a president, but also of immigration. There were children in cages. There were Rose, a 17-year-old girl who was undocumented, couldn't even find a place that would house her safely and be almost a halfway house for her. It was just, there were so many things in reality that were against people like Rose, young people like Rose. Yeah. So that was, for me, the only pressure was saying, let me make sure that I don't have any, I don't have too much structure on what it means to not have a home. Yeah. Like, I can't just pretend I don't have a home. What would that feel like? I have to go, I don't have a home. I have no mother. She's being deported. I have no community to outreach to. And I have no stability and support from the community. And I have no idea who I am. So there's a bunch of jumbled thoughts that, made her seem sometimes in the movie aggressive and headstrong to the extent, but like, you would be too if everything was on the line and you were being chased by an administration that didn't want you in that country. Yeah. Quite literally, people she went through 2 ice raids.
Yes.
So it was the reality of making sure that I was being as authentic to the subject matter that was unfortunately too relevant to what we were trying to achieve as a film. So it's less about like, I don't care about me rolling around in mud and getting slapped around and crying and being exhausted, because that's the job of an actor. You know, this is a vessel that's being used to create art and tell an honest story. But thankfully, we were on set. Well, while we were on set the whole time, Diane and the rest of the cast and the crew created such a supportive and encouraging atmosphere that allowed all the actors to really breathe their characters into the or perspective of characters into the movie. So it almost felt I hate to say the word easy, but in comparison to doing 8 shows a week, it felt almost easy, because Diane created an atmosphere that was like, well, what do you think? Let's collaborate, rather than So it was awesome.
Yeah, it never felt dictatorial. And some sets, whether in theater or on television or in film, can be that way when a director isn't the most collaborative member of the company. And I've done my share of a lot of things, and it's always wonderful when you feel you have made an actual contribution to the piece. Where you felt like you had a voice and that you felt important and relevant. So Diane really created a space for everyone to do their best work, because, you know, she facilitated everything in such a way that we all felt we could do our best work, where it never felt like, well, this is my baby, you have 15 years and you'll do it the way I want it. It never felt that way. There was always room.
Collaboration.
There was always room to, if, okay, this is coming out as artificial, can I change it? Or this is coming across as inorganic for me. Can I say it this way without compromising the scene or what the ultimate message of the film would be. So there was so much allowance for that, especially since there was also a rehearsal process. It was not an extensive one, but the fact that we had one is such a huge blessing, because then it gave us time to get to know who these characters were and give us an opportunity to breathe as them. And I
want to reveal a little secret. I do want to reveal one secret.
Reveal, please, Diane.
What is it?
PhilDev exclusive.
There we go.
Lea, you're the only one that got rehearsal.
Oh, I see. The secret is out.
Okay.
Because
if I got rehearsal, that meant Eva got rehearsal. So...
My only rehearsal was with you.
It was because there's two reasons. Lea was first up, so we had time. We had an extra day to rehearse, but also these are two of the finest stage actors in the world, and they rehearse. I mean, they are theater actors. And so I know that was their process, and we also only had Lea for 2 days, so we had to nail it.
And that's right. Yes.
Yeah,
but to the credit of Princess, we had you for 5 days, and you had like a million scenes in the detention center all in one day.
Yeah. But that's nothing compared to, you should see how we shoot stuff here.
Oh, I know. I heard that.
Like
I was talking to
shotgun
them,
shooting. It's
crazy.
crazy.
They were laughing at me. They're like, "Oh, 19 days. How lucky."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That was a luxurious shoot.
It was luxurious, but I just want to brag on my actors a little bit here, because
please do share with us.
It is, we've won a lot of awards. I'll say it right now. We have been submitted to the Academy Awards in all categories by Sony Pictures. Eva was mentioned in a list by Backstage as one of the best lead performances of the year, alongside Viola Davis, Sophia Loren, Meryl Streep, Charlize Theron, Elizabeth Moss, only Filipino, maybe the only Asian on the list. No, there was one other, but I just want to give kudos to them. And just for Lea to grace our film at all, she is the great performances of last month and is a Billboard chart topper. And Princess, it is my great pleasure to reintroduce her into the world of film and into the world of American film. And I think we're going to see incredible, great things from her. As a director, you write this thing, you have this story.
Yeah.
But it is the eyes and the flesh and the breath of the actors that brings it to life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't listen to them, if you don't value them, if you don't see them as the magic of the whole thing, then what are you doing? So I've always had a deep respect for actors, and I had the most incredible company. And I just want you guys to look at these 5 faces. We're Filipinos in leading roles in a movie about Filipinos that was released by a major Hollywood studio, because PhilDev represents excellence in Filipinos. I just want to make you guys aware that these are 3 of the finest actors we have in the world. And I am the one who should be so humble.
This is amazing. What a collaborative effort. I just love hearing the behind the scenes and just how collaborative everyone, just how supportive and how important this film like this is in our community, and so proud to share it. And so everybody out there, please do share this film. I do want to talk to Princess about, her experience, with other films in her past, and then, working on a project like this. But before we do so, real quick, I'm going to give an opportunity. Top 3 donors tonight, we're going to get an exclusive virtual after party access to you. So we're already having almost $20,000 tonight for PhilDev's donation. So big round of applause. And let me tell you, top 3 donors tonight are going to get exclusive virtual after party with our panel right after this. We're going to send you a link. You're going to get a copy of the signed CD, a photo of Lea and the autograph, hopefully, and all that good stuff. We're going to have, of course, this announcement later on tonight. And we've got some really cool prizes, too, that we're going to give out throughout the night here. So we have 6 random drawings. We're going to give away some amazing things like signed official Yellow Rose movie poster. We've got a Chromecast Ultra, Google Mini, signed Filipino Instapot cookbook. Now, that's pretty cool. Instapot cookbook. Come on. We all love to eat during this quarantine, especially. So we got a lot of cool things like that. So top 3 donors.
Even that got your name on it.
Oh, nice.
No, but I love how you said a cookbook?
Instapot. Yeah, cookbook. Instapot.
Do you have an Instapot?
I have a tiny one, which is not enough. It's not enough for me.
No, not for Filipino food. No.
That's
you need it. You need to make those amazing.
I need a bigger one.
Everybody needs an Instapot, especially during quarantine. But anyways, we're almost at $20,000 here tonight. So for those who can give tonight, it's really easy. Simply click on that donate button on the bottom right hand. It's a green button right there. And let's keep it going. Our goal is $25,000, and we may unlock a little special surprise from Eva. Wink, wink. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. But we got to hit 25,000, okay? So let's get it going, everybody. Thank you so much from all around the world and donating here to PhilDev's 10 amazing, awesome years. So let's get to Princess. Princess, why this project? How did this project feel compared to, you've got quite a history, obviously, in being in film. What was the main difference with this film, and how did you feel as an actress, playing the mother of Rose and in this film, and just to share your experience overall about this wonderful project, Yellow Rose?
Yeah. One thing that I really enjoyed about working with Diane and her team was that they were very much prepared. When I got to the set, everything was there. It wasn't hard for me to do my work because everybody else was doing their own work. And it was so easy working with Diane because she always asks me, how does this line feel for you? Would you really say it this way? If you feel like saying it a different way, you're free to do so. So she trusted us, her actors, and I trusted her so much that after each take, I didn't even have any desire to look at the playback and just keep working and change clothes for another scene. And compared to the TV series that I have done in the Philippines, working with her was very luxurious. It was very easy. Even if she said there were so many scenes, in the Philippines, it's just half of what we do on the 24-hour day work. So I had so much fun working, and I really enjoyed performing with her and the rest of the cast.
Wow, that's amazing. And Diane, talk about selecting these actors for their roles. I mean, obviously you probably had people in mind already. And also, what about educating the actors on the nuances of immigration stories and really communicating that and like working with these actors and actresses to really make this film, expand on your message that you want people to see. What was it like selecting the actors and just kind of that behind the scene process and the nuances there?
Well, as I mentioned before, this was a very, very long process of getting this film made. So one of the steps along the way was I had a short film that I made a couple of years before. And around that time, we had planned to do an international search for Rose. And I remember telling one of my producers, what we need to find the next Lea Salonga. You know how they search the world for Lea Salonga? We need to find the next Lea Salonga. And literally, I think it was right during this time, the news came out that Eva had been cast to play Miss Saigon in the West End revival and I was like, that is the next Miss Saigon, literally. And there she is, but I knew she would be tied up in that role. So we continued our search. And by the way, I saw amazing young women, of which at the same time I met Princess. And she helped, I cast her pretty much on the spot. I think you read for me over the phone and I gave you the part.
You had her at hello, Princess. Had her at hello.
Had me at hello, but she had to wait 5 years to play the part. But other than that, she helped, the process along, and we saw amazing actors. But by the time we got all the money together to make the feature, luckily Eva had been finishing her run in Miss Saigon and had already received a Tony nomination. So I had the bravery to finally go see her because I wouldn't see the play. I'm like, I'm not going to break my heart and watch this girl and be amazing, and I can't cast her. So I had the guts to send her the script, and I went to see her. I don't think you knew I was in the audience that night, and I was just blown away. And not because I knew she was going to be great as an actor and I knew she could sing, but because she had a very natural style of acting, which is required of the part. Almost like her style of acting was different than the other actors. It was very apparent to me how different your style, Eva, was. And I knew kind of from that she would be the one. And then I met her, and then she's this lovely person. But I will say one thing, I've seen you grow from the time I met you to now. I've seen you come into your own skin and be just become a young woman that I'm really proud of. But one of the things I think that comes with great actors is they wear their hearts on their sleeves. They have emotional connection. I know, Princess, you have that too, and Lea too. But particularly Eva, it's just right there. You feel all of the things, just
everything.
Depth of emotion is at the surface. And I think sometimes great actors, that same skill makes it difficult to live in the world because they feel things more. And I know that about you, Eva. And when you say an actor is generous, is they expose that pain, they expose that thing to the world. That's what they're giving to us.
Yes.
And all three of these actresses have that ability to give that. And so I think that's why her performance is so powerful.
Wow. That's amazing. Folks, if you have not seen Yellow Rose, please do so. I mean, we're hearing behind the scenes right here, right now. And thank you so much, PhilDev, for doing this and creating an opportunity to showcase this film. And you have to see it. And I'm going to get into the music now. Let's talk about the music here first off. But I do have a question real quick before we get into the music. Diane, the question is, when will Yellow Rose be released in theaters in the Philippines?
That's a great question. We are releasing in the Philippines next Friday, a week from today, Friday the 29th. It will be on a number of platforms, ktx.ph, I Want TV, Signal On Demand, and Sky On Demand. And there might be more that I'm forgetting, but it is released by Star Cinema. ABS-CBN is our is our producer and our executive producer and our production partner. So we coming home.
Yeah, we coming home. And for those in here in the States, so it's on Amazon Prime, right? And tell us where else can we watch this?
It's on Apple TV. I'm proud to say we're the editor's choice for Apple TV this month, along with Soul from Pixar. So it's pretty incredible to be on that recommended list. And we're also on Fandango now, Vudu. You can buy our DVD or Blu-ray at Target, Walmart, Best Buy, the local deli.
Oh man, yes. Hey, we're coming up. I love it. This is amazing. We're going to keep building this momentum for the Yellow Rose, indeed. And let's talk about this music, okay? Music is so important, a part of this movie, indeed. And talk about the country songs of the movie for the whole cast. Whatever, you guys can all chime in here. You know, the movie and having that immigrant story written into them. They're truly amazing. Was it difficult to write the score of this film? How did that process come about? Share with us the music part about this Yellow Rose film.
So really quickly, I want Eva to chime in too. We wrote the music with an incredible actor who plays himself. Dale Watson, weird echo. And he kind of taught us the ropes of what country music is. He certainly taught me and definitely sort of helped Eva. And the idea was that I wanted the actors to write the songs in character. And then I also kind of chimed in as well. I wrote one of the songs called Quietly Into the Night. But the great story is that I tasked Eva to write a song during the shoot, which she wrote and is in the film. And it's this great song. I get asked all the time, like, when are you going to finish that song? Why is that song not on the soundtrack? But at one point, Eva just looks at me and goes, you really expect me to act every day, sing these songs, record the songs on the weekend, and write a song? And I was like, no, you don't have to do it.
Oh my goodness! Talk about the song, Eva. Give us your perspective on the music and how such an important part of this in your life here, and of course being a singer and actress yourself.
Yeah.
And just in this film, and hype it up. Talk about the music and your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I hated country music when I first started because I was not shown what true country music was. I was just kind of shown, you know, like the commercial, like where I grew up in North Carolina, 96.9 was like the country rock, and then you would just play.
Talking about your dog and all the my dog died and all that.
Because one, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't understand anything they were saying, and two, like I just couldn't relate to it because there was such a modern filter on the lyrics and on the sound, and for me, like I like diving headfirst into an experience of a song. So when Diane kind of gave me her recommendations of things that she was like, you need to listen to these people. You need to listen to Dolly and Townes Van Zandt and Willie and Loretta. And I dove into that side of country music, and I realized that it's kind of in the same way, you know, the probably hidden message of this of Yellow Rose, but that kind of country music, the starter, the kind of dirt of country music, kind of paralleled like what it means to be a patriot and what it means to be a supremacist, and you know, like kind of like borderline what another message of the movie is about. So for me, I was like, oh, this is poetry. This is true poetry, poetry put in music. And to be honest, like I can't really get enough. I mean, one of my new favorite artists I discovered because of Apple Music, that have this thing. I was listening to Loretta Lynn and Jack White's song, Portland, Oregon. It's such an incredible song, but it said more like this. And so I looked at it and I was introduced to like another artist that I've become obsessed with named Yola. She's a beautiful Black goddess country rock singer from Brixton, UK. And she has the most stunning album you've ever heard in your life. And so for me, it's like music is a key point in everyone's life.
Yes.
But if you allow yourself to really experience just like the dirt of it, like when there's a healthy plant, there's good soil. Just like when there's a good song, there's a good origin of that genre of music. Just like jazz.
Great analogy. Yes.
Yeah. And so I just was so grateful for having those experiences. And now like my vinyl collection is like all of the vinyls that I remembered in the movie, when in one of the scenes Diane had me like as Rose like go through the thing and then choose the album. Like I got all of them, the ones that I remember, because I was like, this is good shit. Like this is such wonderful music. And thankfully the music that Rose sings in the movie is just so real and natural. You know, there's no like plasticness that's been being added, like the modern auto-tune or it comes from the freaking heart. And I think that's why people love the movie so much, especially the music aspect, because they can relate to it. And also it's welcoming. It's not exclusive. It's like, hey, this is how I feel. And people flock to that kind of energy. And so thankfully that was the music aspect. Because I remember when I first heard it's a movie musical, I got a little nervous, obviously, because a lot of these movie musicals that are coming out are like doo-doo caca all over the place. The vocals, the story, the songs, and it's like, I don't want to be a part of something that's doo-doo caca. Thankfully, it was the opposite.
Yes.
So
Thank you for sharing. Very descriptive. Thank you for the descriptions, because now I'm like, but no, really, thank you for sharing your perspective on the music about this film. I'm gonna, of course, I got to talk to Lea about music here. First off, Lea, you've shattered ceilings, of course, in the music business, pioneered for us and our people here on Broadway. You've played just amazing characters from Disney and all that. Really paved the way for so many artists that are Filipino and Filipino American. I love it. And I want to hear your perspective on the music of Yellow Rose, how important it is, and how it relates to you. And then we're going to close out. I want to hear from everybody. How does this, this film continue the momentum, and how can we help represent and, represent the global Filipino community in many ways, like here, that shattering those ceilings that you have done, Lea, since the very beginning. Let me get your perspective, Lea. Tell us about the.
Okay. All right. I'm a little sleepy. I need to wake my brain up.
Talk about the Hillside.
My involvement with the music aspect of the film had nothing to do with country music. So what I brought to the musical buffet of the soundtrack was a Filipino song, Dahil Sa'yo, which is a classic, which is so recognizable. And I think even for Filipino Americans, like the younger ones who may not speak the language, they'll know the song, because I think they might have either heard their parents singing it or watched a TV show or a film where it was featured or something. There will always be someone that will have sung it in their life. And that was kind of the experience, I think, of hearing that. Because, I mean, being a singer here in the Philippines, you have to know the old stuff as well as the new stuff. So I grew up listening to all kinds of Filipino music on the radio. And that, I think, was one of the songs. So it's kind of etched in there.
Yes.
So what I brought was me basically in a room singing to my daughter in the film this lullaby, this very recognizable, classic, very old Filipino song. And Rose sings along while weeping so many tears. And I'm singing it as a lullaby, and she's singing it because there's a connection to her mother, because her mother sings it to her. And so when she hears her aunt singing it, then it sends her off on another emotional diving board. So the music in the film, it's not just ornamental. It becomes emotional jumping off points that then pivot a character into doing something else. Or they're a signal of some sort of emotional change.
Yes.
So the music is organic. It never feels shoehorned into the story. There is a purpose for every song being there. And I think that the audience, once they see the movie and then take the soundtrack home as well, they will be able to connect, to the film and to the music as well. So it just watching the film back with a salad in front of me, it was such a nice day to do that. And to be able to have Diane there, and she's like, yeah, this is not color graded yet. This is all, it was still a work in progress when I got to see it. But just to listen to the music and to listen to the songs and to actually have been in the room, I think when they were working on one of the songs during one of the rehearsal days, that was fantastic to be able to say that I was in the room as a song was being worked on. So it was awesome. It was an awesome process to be in the room where it happens. It's awesome.
I bet. Well, this is a wonderful close here. I'm going to get 10, 15 seconds from each and every one of you. We're going to close this thing out and maybe have a little special bonus. Eva, wink, wink, if you're able to close us out on a real high note, if you know what I mean, because we are doing a great job at 27,000 right now. We have superseded our goal, but we're not done yet. Let's give more to PhilDev, that donate button right there. But we're going to close out with some positivity here. So I'm going to ask each and every one. We'll start with Diane. We'll move our way through. But talk about, the elevator pitch to everybody, why we should watch Yellow Rose and how this is so important for our Filipino community, not just now, but for future generations. Tell us all about it, because we're going to all see it if you haven't seen Yellow Rose yet. Diane, start with you. Let's close it out with some positivity and let's feel some pride, because this is such a great film that we can add to the many things and accomplishments from our great culture and folks. So tell us. Go ahead, Diane.
Yeah, I mean, once again, this has been the work of my life. I spent years and years and years trying to get it made, not because of any kind of ego, because I just looked around and nobody had broke that ceiling. We are the second largest Asian community in this country, and we're virtually invisible when it comes to films and television and anything. And so the fact that we were able to, with our tiny budget and our tiny crew and our tiny, deeply devoted company of artists, make a piece of work that resonated, with so many different audiences and was picked up by a major Hollywood studio, which doesn't really happen very much on a movie of this budget. But we did something as a group that I hope Filipinos will be proud of. It's important to show excellence. That's the purpose of PhilDev, of raising up your feeling that we can play in the biggest arenas there are. And the fact that we are right now in the middle of an Oscar campaign is saying a lot. Also, I just wanted to quickly say that our soundtrack, you want to hear these amazing songs, is available on all platforms: Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music. It's on all of those platforms. And for your friends and family in the Philippines, please tell them to support our film also back home, because it is a link. A lot of people in the Philippines have family here, and it's a link back to that kind of connection. So please see this film. Supporting a film in Hollywood is a business. So when they see a movie do well, it will open the door for other Filipino films to say that they have a valid chance of doing well. So if this film does well, you'll see so many more films like this and other voices have a chance to get made and not wait 15 more years to make another one.
Exactly. And we're going to have many more of these. And so let's briefly, we're running out of time closely, but I want to close out with everyone. Princess, just share with us real quick, 10 seconds or 10, 15 seconds. Yellow Rose.
Yes.
You got
Yes. Rose is like a picture of all of us going through the pandemic right now. With love, compassion, and kindness thrown our way, we will be able to overcome whatever this is.
Yes, overcoming. I love it. That is beautiful.
She always drops the bomb, and then that's the mic drop.
I love it. Okay, Lea, let's close it out. This is an amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your insight, Lea. We got to watch this film. This is an amazing film. Yellow Rose. Tell us, close us out right here, and then we're gonna have Eva close it out with us after that.
Okay. All of us will be able to see ourselves in this film. That is probably the best way I can describe it. You will see people that you love. You will see people that you don't always love, but you will definitely latch on to someone in the film because you will have a common experience with them. And it's as specific as this is to the Filipino American community, it's a very universal story. And more stories like this that showcase who we are as a people and as a culture. If it does good business, as Diane said, it means that more movies with more of our stories will get made. So we need to support movies like this in order for more movies like this to get made and to get seen. So please watch Yellow Rose. For those watching in the Philippines, January 29 on numerous platforms. For those in the United States, it's already on Amazon Prime Video and on iTunes or Apple TV. So you'll be able to access it there. Thank you.
Yes, I love it. And then Eva, hey, you promised us, but you said, can we do a little, you know what, why don't you just close it with just a little line a cappella so then we can close it out. And then I got one last thing for fundraising for PhilDev, but we are so close to 30,000. I think we might be able to get it here, but let's give a round of applause. Eva, come on, can you close it out with some?
I will close it out, but I need to know if I take my time in singing in the few lines, it's not gonna like end, right?
No, I will close it. I got a perfect transition. So you got it.
Perfect. Okay.
Come on, Eva. Yes.
I will be singing a few lines from this song Square Peg, Round Hole from the film Yellow Rose.
Yes.
This is my American Idol audition. No, just kidding. Okay.
There we go. Exactly.
I never fit in, never could win, though I tried and tried. This feeling don't end. I feel out of place, a song out of tune, like a velvet chair in a dusty saloon. Square peg, round hole, like a tumbleweed with nowhere to go. Square peg, round hole, I'll run away with nowhere to go.
Wow, yes.
Oscar.
Mike Top right there. I'm going to put you off there. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause. Diane Paragas, Lea Salonga, Princess Punzalan, and Eva Noblezada from Yellow Rose. You all have to see it. PhilDev, thank you so much for hosting this panel with all of us and all of you for tuning in. Let's give a round of applause again. What a close. And guess what? We're at $30,000, everybody. Yes. So with that said, I'm going to transition now because we have a VIP party we got to get to right now, and it's going to be quick. So we're going to have to say goodbye, but I have one item of business, and I have wine. Yes, a nice Magnum Silver Oak. So just as Eva's smooth voice, it's a smooth wine that we have for you all that I'm going to do. So stick around, everybody. Don't go anywhere, but let's say goodbye to our panel for the Yellow Rose, Lea, Diane, Princess, Eva. We have the VIP for the top 3 folks, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, everybody, thanks again. What an amazing time here. And as I said, the wine, we have a Magnum of Silver Oak, the Cabernet Sauvignon. We have 30,000 to PhilDev. Thank you again to our special guest. I'm going to go through this very fast. We have one item, and we're not going to do it like a live auction. The way that works is we're going to do for $50, you, if you are the last hand standing today, $50 will get you a Magnum of Silver Oak, the Cabernet Sauvignon. This is like the granddaddy of Cabernet Sauvignons. It's called the Silver Oak. It is amazing, and it's worth lots of money, and you can win it for just $50. How does that work? Well, you see that green pledge button right there. Now, you have to be the last one at the end. When I say sold, if you're the last one at $50, all it takes is $50 to buy in. But remember, every time you click that $50, it's going to keep adding to your bill tonight. So it goes to a great cause. We're doing this for charity. We're doing this for PhilDev. We already have $30,000 tonight, but let's go one last item and let's have some fun. It's called Last Virtual Hand Standing. The last one to bid $50 will go home with the Magnum of Silver Oak Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a premium wine here that you're going to love. So let's go. Who wants to start it at $50 right here? Remember, you got to be the last one. We're going to go fast, fun, and furious with yours truly, Franco Finn. And then we're closing it out. We got a VIP party for about 15 minutes with our exclusive, amazing cast from Yellow Rose. So here we go. Gina starts it up at $50. Bella's at $50. All right. You got to be the last one. Oh, Gia's in at $50. Remember, you have to be the last one at $50. So you can bid as many times as you like, but we're going to keep adding it to the end of your bill. But remember, it goes to a great cause tonight. So who will be the last virtual hand standing? Is it Gia? Is it Bella? Is it Gina? Who is it? Gia's the last one at $50. Does anyone want to go be the king or queen and be the last one standing here? Oh, Adriel comes in at $50. Anyone else at $50 or more? Here we go. 50. Oh, Gia says, no. That Magnum is mine. That Silver Oak Cabernet exclusive wine is mine. Oh, Gia says, I got the last one right there. Remember, every time you click that button, it's going to be another $50 added to the end of your tab. So let's go. Gia is the last one right here. Anyone else want to outbid her right now? $50 is all it takes to go one above. Here we go. Last call, $50, last chance. How about Adriel, Gina, anybody else? $50. Remember, it goes to PhilDev. We're at 31,000, folks. Keep it going. Don is the new player. Oh, Bella, don't let Don take that Magnum away from you. Come on, Bella. I know you want to get that last $50. Are you the king or the queen? Oh, Gia says, no. I'm putting $50. I am the one getting this. All right, I'm going to close it out real soon in less than a few seconds because we have 3 VIP folks that are going to be going to see, of course, Lea, Diane, and Eva and Princess in the virtual VIP party afterwards right now. So Gia, Adriel, oh my gosh, Gia, thank you so much. You are so far the last hand standing. Adriel, anyone, Bella, are you going to do this? Are you going to let Gia take this away? Here we go. $50 is all it takes. Last chance. Are we going to get going? Here we go. I'm going to put the 24-second shot clock like the basketball game. 24 seconds. Here we go. Is it? Oh, Paco. Jonesy comes in. Okay. Evelyn Lopez is now in the lead. $50. The last person Gia says, no. I got this right now. All right. Here we go. 20 seconds left. I got to close this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I can close this at any minute. Remember, $50. If you're the last hand standing, you're going to get this Magnum of Silver Oak Cabernet Sauvignon in your home. Who's going to be? Gia, Evelyn, Paco. Who's it going to be? We got 15 seconds left. Last call. Anyone? Last call for alcohol. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close it now. All right, 5 seconds left. Is it Jones? Oh, my gosh. Gia comes in. Anyone else? Last call. All in, all done for the Magnum right there. Sneak it in. $50. Who's going to be the last person? All in, all done. And we will be stolen in. It will be, oh, my goodness, Evelyn Sim. Oh, my gosh. Keep it going. And we are so close. And we got a winner. Anthony Elias in the nick of time. Congratulations. But thank you, Gia. Thank you, everyone, Bella, all those who gave today, because PhilDev could not have done it without you here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, 32,000 tonight. We did it. Thank you so much. Magandang gabi, everybody. Lahat, I really appreciate it. I'm your host, Franco Finn, and we will have, of course, the winners emailed who are the top 3 donors tonight to see that VIP party. The link should be on its way right now. And then, let me tell you, we have the 6 random winners that we're going to announce right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we randomly selected 6, and it is Dr. Tess Mauricio, Felicito Deswasido. We got Jasmine Joy Dizon. We have Christine Custodio, Alfredo Alforque, and Marlo Paraiso. Congratulations to our winners. We've got random prizes to give out to you from everything from a Instapot autograph cookbook to, let's say, we've got a Google Home Mini. We've also got an autographed Yellow Rose movie poster. We've got a book from Jose Antonio Vargas, which is autographed as well, called Dear America. And we've got a lot of other great prizes. So congratulations to our winners. We'll contact you. But most importantly, thank you to all of you for joining us tonight. PhilDev, congratulations on 10 amazing years. We have raised $32,505 so far. It is still not too late, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to give one last time before you check out, if you can give on the kindness of your heart, I know it's been some challenging times, but what PhilDev is doing in their mission is important. And I know together as a community, all my kababayans out there, here, near, far, international, in the Philippines, hello, let's do this. Let's come together. We are so proud of such a great film called Yellow Rose. Please take a look at it. I guarantee you're going to love it. You're going to be inspired. The music is fantastic. You heard from the cast and the director herself. This is a beautiful film. And just like a yellow rose, we will grow and be beautiful. And we are so proud of sharing who we are as a Filipino culture and people. And we're going to share it with the world, just like Yellow Rose. And this is what we're going to do. So thank you so much, everybody out there. My name is Franco Finn. You can still donate some more right here. Again, last call, the donate button on the bottom right-hand screen. Congratulations to all our winners here tonight and those who played the last hand standing. I know we only had one magnum to give, but really all the money that we raise here tonight is benefiting what PhilDev has been doing for 10 amazing years. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Be on the lookout this March, this spring, sometime. We're going to have a nice fundraiser for PhilDev. We're going to come together again as a community. Lots of great things and surprises and ways that you can win some awesome prizes and to build and support PhilDev's mission. So congratulations, 10 years. My name is Franco Finn, Warriors, hype man, proud Pinoy, Filipino American right here in the Bay Area, representing every single night at Chase Center. But thank you for representing each and every night as well. Thanks again to the cast of Yellow Rose and our director as well for joining us tonight. Thanks everybody for all that you did. Great job fundraising. Magandang gabi. Have a great one, everyone. Enjoy the weekend. And we'll see you next time. All right? Bye, everybody. Take care.